Hey Budget Fam, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are reorganizing the money binders. So if you have been on this channel, you know I am all about reorganizing money whenever I feel like it. I will say in this video in particular, we're not reorganizing the actual money. We are just organizing, for the most part, the categories and how we are setting up all of the binders. Doing this every couple of months really just helps keep me motivated. And to me, that is the beautiful and the best thing about cash stuffing and these envelopes is it keeps me motivated, it keeps me wanting to save. And so anytime I start to feel kind of dull or not in the mood or not motivated to save, I like to rearrange things, and that kind of picks my spirits back up and encourages me to keep doing it. So if you are into very short and swift videos, this is not one of those. I hope you are doing something else instead of just listening to me ramble, but this will be a longer video as I rearrange things. I will also be answering the questions that were asked on the Q&A tab over in the membership tab. I don't think I said that right, but you know what I mean. I'm answering those questions, so this will be a very chatty video while I merge that question and answer post with what we are doing here. In reality, I have 5 binders because I have one binder that has been living in my purse and holding cards in addition to some of the cash envelopes, and it holds just different things that I need, like coupons and things. And then I have these 4 binders as well. What we are doing today is reorganizing some of the categories and consolidating down to just 4 binders total. So lately, this has been my bills binder. This has been long-term savings, short-term savings, and then some variable expenses and homeschooling and self-care and that kinds of thing. So we are consolidating things, and we're just gonna start by taking these binders apart and reshuffling into new binder categories. I'll tell you my binder categories right off the bat. We are going to have the bills binder still. We will have a variable binder. We will have my savings goals, like goals for myself and things that I want and need, and then savings goals that more pertain to the kids and things that they want and need. So those are our 4 categories. Let's go ahead and get started into taking these binders apart. I did go ahead and pull all of these out because I didn't want to be snapping these in your ear on the camera. First question we will answer comes from Tammy. Tammy said, when you do a savings challenge, do you pick what it will be used for before you start it? Absolutely. I cannot do savings challenges if I don't know what it is for. I just don't have that kind of motivation in me. I know that a lot of you guys do, and I love that. But for me in particular, I have to know what that money's going for. So if I do, say, a 52-week savings challenge, I have to have an end goal in mind, or I will never, ever, ever stuff that envelope. I just can't. I can't for some reason. Tammy also asked, what is one piece of advice you wish you had been given when you first started the cash envelope system? I would say the first piece of advice I wish somebody really clarified to me is it is okay. I guess there's 2 pieces. One piece would be it is okay to not have it all figured out. Just like with sports and with work, with anything in your life, you won't really figure it out until you're doing it. You learn as you go. I think that as humans, we tend to feel like and think, oh, well, I have to have it figured out and then I can do the thing. And in life, that just never happens, right? You have to do the thing and you figure out the thing while you're doing it. Well, budgeting is no exception. I have been budgeting for a couple of years now, and I will say I still am learning things that really work for me, and I'm learning things as I go along. And then every once in a while, I have to go back from the very beginning and just pick everything apart and remind myself like what I'm doing. It is an ongoing process, and you can't be scared to start the process. Advice number 2 on that would be track your expenses. I get a lot of questions from you guys that I really can't answer because it's something you have to figure out with your own budget. Budgets are so unique to us, and we are all unique people with different priorities and needs. So the first step in the right direction is to track your expenses, track everything that you spend, and then sort of get rid of some of the excess and put money where you think is the priority. Something I think is a priority might be an excess to someone else, and something that you think is a priority might not be a priority to me. So I will say those 2 things. First, just start it. Just start doing it. Make it a habit in your life and make it fun. And the second thing is if all else fails and you just don't know what to do and you're just starting, just start tracking your money. Track the money that's coming in and track the money that's going out. Okay, so for the first binder, I haven't picked which binder I'm going to use for what category, and I also haven't picked which patterns I'm going to use, but I thought it would be best just to start with finding the different envelopes that I want and then maybe deciding a print and stuff as I go. So we will see how this goes. But the very first binder is going to be my goals binder. So while I answer this next question, I'm just going to be going through and looking for those categories that I know are part of like my goals, not the kids' goals. Next question is from Asilla. Asilla said, do you ever want to use only fake money and keep everything in the bank? What do you think about the fact that keeping money in your home is more risky and can lose value? Thanks, and I love your video. Thank you so much, Asilla. Okay, so do I ever want to use only fake money and keep everything in the bank? No, not at this point at least. I am not someone who can keep money in the bank and not spend it. I'm doing okay with having a savings account, but as far as for like daily spending and stuff, no. My goal is actually to get more cash heavy because there's a little bit of money that sits in the bank at times that I call my buffer, and then I spend that buffer, right? So my goal is to get more true to like everything that I have is in cash, right? And what do I think about the fact that keeping money in my home is more risky and that cash loses value? I don't see keeping money in the house as risky because I do have it in a safe and I have it in a hidden spot. But of course, something can happen and change my viewpoint on that. That's just how I feel right now. As far as cash losing its value, I hear people say that all the time. And honestly, I think that might be a more higher income problem to have, and that might be something I change my mind on in the future. But at this point in my life, I do not have enough money to be getting any kind of interest in any kind of bank that will take me. So if you have enough money and you're in a bank that the interest actually accrues and counts for something, then I can see why you would want to maybe, you know, keep yourself accountable with placeholders and fake money. But for me, it's just nothing that is feasible or realistic in my current life. Of course, budgeting is an individual journey, and that could change for me in the future. I mean, future me might be completely different than present me, but you know, I don't know. It's where I'm at right now. I didn't even, okay. So moving is something that is going into one binder. New car is going in that same binder. New phone, Christmas, and AAA, which needs a label. We will be doing that in just a little bit. Also in this binder is car maintenance. Where's winter? Winter vacation, picture day, and then I sort of know where things were in the other binders, but this is about to get way chaotic. So all of this will be in things that are my goals, and of course we will go through this in just a little bit. Next question comes from Rebecca. Rebecca says, with the cost of living being higher in Nashville, do you worry about making enough with just Etsy and YouTube? Yes, I do. Her next question going along with that is, do you think you will get another job once you're there? If I have to, I will get another job while I'm there. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not opposed to working a full-time 9-to-5 somewhere else. I just have tried that over the years, and being a single parent and a solo parent, meaning I don't have the dad taking the kids on the weekend or anything, it's completely me 24/7, right? Being in the situation that I'm in, and then my kids also having the health needs that they have, I have found it very unrealistic. So I have a master's degree and I want to work within my field, but I'm finding that working within my field offers no flexibility for kids getting sick, or my kids are chronically ill. They have an ongoing lifelong kidney and liver disease, and having what they have that also comes with a bunch of extra doctor visits, and those visits and things are only going to increase as they get closer to needing transplants and needing more invasive things for their kidney and liver. I started YouTube and Etsy kind of as a hobby, but now that I'm seeing it could be an option for a full-time, I'm trying to ride this train and see if I can realistically make it work, because it could be the lifesaver that I have been looking for, right? And not only that, but I really love this job. Like, I am having so much fun on Etsy and YouTube, and I just could not I don't know. This is just, it's the field that I would love to be in at this point. It's just where I'm at right now. Would I go back if I have to? Of course. I'm a single mom. I will do whatever I have to give my kids the best life possible. But do I want to? No. I want to stay on YouTube and Etsy, and I want to launch that paper planner business in the middle of this year, and that's what I'm working towards. Somebody's cutting grass. Rebecca also said, also, I know you used to get child support. Do you think you will be able to get that again soon? I don't see that money coming back, nor do I expect it to come back. So if it ever does, my hope is to put all of that money away for the boys. Y'all know I'm open on this channel, right? So like, you will know if it comes back, but do I expect it to be, and do I expect to rely on it or need it like I used to? Absolutely not. It's not dependable at this point. Okay, next is the bills binder, which should be pretty put together. Next question is from Natalie. How much is best to budget when moving out for the first time? Natalie, I would actually say for you, go check out my last video, not my last video, my video from Wednesday of last week. It is talking about, what did I call it? How to prepare your budget for a big move. I am using, in that video, I'm breaking down cost for my big move to Nashville, but I think you could do kind of the same thing. So I can't give anyone a set amount of how much they should budget for a big move, because every area and everybody's ambitions are completely different. One person might be able to rent an apartment with a roommate, and they will be able to split that rent's cost. Say rent is only $1,000, so they have to pay $500 for their portion of rent, right? But if someone else may be a family of 6 and they can't split the rent with anybody else, I would say to make a big move and move out for the first time, you need to do a couple of things. One is to start mapping out all of your current expenses. How much do you spend in gas every week? How much do you spend in groceries? Some of those things will stay about the same when you move. You just need to know how much you're already spending. And then think about categories that might be new. There are some staple bills that will be new to you, like rent, and bills like electric, gas in the house, maybe gas because you'll be driving more. Think of all of those expenses. You can get a lot of ideas of different expenses from this budgeting community, but you can also ask friends and family in your area, how much do you pay for your electric bill? Do your research and start writing all of that down, and then start trying to save that amount, just like I did in the video last week, preparing for a big move. Start trying to save every week what you will be needing once you move out. Make sure you can make it happen before you actually get out there. If that makes sense? Hopefully that made sense. Okay, bills. We have a lot of the same bills, but we are also going to be lumping. Pets is now a bill. Tuition is a bill. Okay, we're missing some categories, but we will find it. So this is just our general bills. Okay, next thing we are categorizing is we're gonna be taking out some of these categories, and then we will be putting some things in a variable spending binder. That category is disappearing. That's gonna get consolidated. Okay, so Pamela asked, why are you moving to Nashville? The primary reason I am moving to Nashville, it was two reasons initially. Okay, the first reason was because I could not get a job in my field here. Well, you guys know the last 6 months or so, I started making money on YouTube and Etsy, so that's becoming less of a priority as far as my move goes. But Nashville was gonna be it's a good, like, there are plenty of opportunities for me to use my master's degree and still be close to family. I guess there's 3 points. My moving point needed to be close to all of my family who is here in Mississippi. So Nashville was just a big city where I could use my degree, probably because there's a lot of things going, it's a big city. So to get a job, and then the second thing and the main thing is because I need to be in a bigger city for my boys' health needs. I don't want to be in a situation where I have one kid getting a transplant and the other kid is in another state and I'm having to pick which kid I visit and live with. I mean, I'm one person, right? So I want to get my kids at a good hospital. Vanderbilt is a great transplant hospital for the particular transplants my kids will need. So I am moving for Vanderbilt for the hospital system that is there. Some of my move needs have become a little bit irrelevant. Initially, I was moving to Nashville to get a job, which is not really relevant now. I was in a rush to move because my boys were public schooled and I thought I was going to use the public school system. So I wanted to move in the summer to make sure I get them in before the next school year, right? So they're not public schooled anymore. So two of my big rushes and the big reasons I wanted to move when I planned on moving is because of job and school. That's irrelevant now. So I'm not saying I won't be moving in July. It's just my lease at this apartment is up in November. So I'm thinking at this point, I'm starting to feel like, this could change tomorrow, guys, but I'm starting to feel like it would be the smart thing to just wait until this lease is up in November and then leave, right? To give myself a little bit more time to continue to grow my income and my work and then move. But anyway, that doesn't really answer the question. It's just been on my mind a lot as I've been researching and planning and plotting my move to Nashville, is I'm starting to think that maybe the smart move is to move in November when this lease is up. But why I'm moving is, at this point, it is just for Vanderbilt Hospital. My boys both have a kidney and liver disease that will lead to transplants, and I want to have them at a good hospital so I'm able to take care of both kids but still be with the other one. Because here in Mississippi, I would have to bring my kids to a hospital that is probably a flight away, and transplants, they don't just release you once you get a transplant. You have to wait. They want to monitor all your numbers. So I would hate to get stuck like in a hospital with one kid getting a transplant and be there with them for a month and then my other kid is left at home. Like, I don't know. I just don't know how that would even work here. Realistically, I think that it would just be too traumatic for all of us. So the smart thing to me is to move as close as I can get to the transplant hospital, which would be Vanderbilt, if I'm living in Nashville. That way I can take care of both the kid that's getting the transplant at that time and the kid that's healthy at that time. So that is our categories. I forgot to put, this goes with kids goals now. So we are going to be going through these 3 categories and picking a binder color for them, and then we will pick a label color, and any labels I need to make, I will go ahead and make those. Which design I want, I think for my, I love this print. It is one of the original designs with us, and it's my first one I fell in love with, so I think we're gonna do that design for variable spending. For bills, we're gonna do, that is the color block, so like it has like 6 different colors in it. And then the kids' needs, I'm going to do axolotl because they love the axolotls. And then for my goals, I'm going to put that print on them. So now I can pick the binders. We will do this binder for variable expenses. Let's do pink for my goals. I think that's cute together. We will do blue with the axolotls, which is the kids' goals. And then we'll do the black for the bills. Perfect. Okay, so next question is from Sadie. Sadie asks, what made you want to start your own channel? I was watching other YouTubers with their own channels, of course, and I just wanted to be a part of the community. I had no idea my channel was gonna grow. I really at that time didn't even plan on having an Etsy shop. Basically, I was just creating things for myself because I couldn't afford to get anything from the different Etsy shops and stuff that I was seeing. So in doing that though, I started to receive a lot of attention and people wanting to purchase things that I was showing on my channel. They were saying, hey, where did you buy that, or where can I get that? So I made an Etsy shop. So the only reason I made my own channel was because I wanted to be a part of the community. I thought, oh, if I get 100 subscribers, then that will be 100 people that are keeping me accountable with my budget, right? I had no idea things would grow the way that they did. I just really wanted to be a part of the community. I wanted to be creating some content. I think every YouTuber does kind of hope, oh, maybe I'll get 1,000 subscribers. Maybe I can make a little bit of side money off of it, but I definitely had no idea things would grow quickly like they did. Okay, so let's see. Groceries, gas, fast food, haircuts, and then sick days. Okay, so my camera died, so I went ahead and took the opportunity to print all of the labels that we're gonna need. So we'll go back through and put those stickers in here as well as the trackers. So this is my new variable spending binder. To start out, we have groceries. Okay, so Nasiba, hey Nasiba. Nasiba said, will you ever do a live stream? And if so, can it be about your goals or anything you want? I would absolutely love to do a live stream just for the safety of my boys. I haven't done it because they are typically in the house. I would like to incorporate it more, maybe in the next 6 months to a year as my boys grow older. They can obviously understand giving me my space when I'm filming. So I think as the boys get older, I definitely will. I would absolutely love to. It is just not something that I've done yet, but I am so excited to eventually do a live stream. The first live stream I do will likely be a Q&A. I'll do a Q&A just so I can have you guys ask the questions there, and I can answer them there live with you guys. I think that would be a lot of fun. So that'll probably be the first live stream I do. We're just not quite there yet. We're just gonna change the label on this one. Sarah says, my question is, with how the economy is going, how are you or anyone else for that matter planning on overcoming the price increases and shortages with the budgets already set? You guys probably noticed on my channel, my income lately has been all over the map. My priorities change and shift. I think the reality of the situation is, for myself and probably for a lot of people, is you either have to find more ways to make more money, or we are going to have to cut out some of the things. Prices are definitely increasing all across the board. You guys know groceries used to cost me $100. They now cost me $150. I don't know. The news will tell you that things have only increased like 5% or 10%. Like, no, they've doubled. Prices have doubled, at least for the things I'm buying. So I think how that's going to look for a lot of us is we will have to stop spending so much money on things that we want and put the money just where it has to go. And that's kind of sad, but hopefully prices will level out soon. And I know a lot of you have your 9-to-5 jobs. Hopefully you will get a raise or something to compensate for the inflation. But I think this is a genuine struggle that we all have right now. We're gonna have to figure it out together. Groceries, gas, and fast food was all I really had in variable spending, but self-care, this would be nice to have on me instead of just tucked away in the envelope, because I always forget to spend that money and kind of forget that I have it. Etsy money doesn't necessarily need to be in the binder I'm carrying out with me, but it just makes sense to go ahead and stay with this money. Haircuts for when the boys need haircuts. It's not really, I didn't feel like it was a bill because it's not something I spend every single month, but it's nice to just have it here. And whenever I hit $30, which is what my boys' haircuts cost, I can start thinking like if they need that haircut or not. And then sick days, you guys know this is something I like to have, not to pay a doctor or medicine or anything like that. It is strictly it goes to making my life easier when the boys are sick. I did move this out of sort of the goals binder because I found that I would never use it. Like when we were sick, I wasn't using it as I wanted to. We were just being sick, and then I didn't give myself that money, which the whole point is to help me out and to make my life feel a little bit easier, right? So I moved it here so that I will remember that it's here, and hopefully when we are sick, I will spend this money and make life easier. Next, we will go ahead and stuff the bills. Our first category is going to be rent, and then preschool, mother's helper, electric. A lot of these bills are the same as they were. We are just going to sort of refresh the stickers and add a couple new things in. Tuition, car insurance. I lost my car insurance one. Here we go. Car insurance, and 1 month ahead. So we will be renaming some of these categories, but for the most part, it's staying the same. Cash stuff with Kath says, I love the cash budgeting system as well, but is there anything you don't like about it or anything you wish you could change? That is a great question. I don't think there's anything I would like to change. I really love the cash system because you can really change it to make it what you want. I don't feel restricted in any way to make cash stuffing fit a certain mold. So I think that may be why I don't feel like there's anything I wish I could change about it, because if I wish I could change it, I would just change it. If I'm answering that kind of more broadly, I would say anything I don't like about it or I could change. I do wish people as a whole would realize you really can make it whatever you want it to be. If you just want to keep most of your money in the bank and you're doing fine with that, but you want to cash up just a few categories or have a few like little fun categories you're stuffing just for fun and for motivation, then you can do that. If you want to be doing like what I'm doing, which is pretty much cash stuffing every single penny that enters my account, then you can do that. It's whatever you make it. And I guess if I had to pick an answer, I would say that I wish that was a little more understood, because sometimes people see what I'm doing and they feel very overwhelmed, like they have to do all this, and they shouldn't feel that way. Sort of had an answer for that one. Next question is Inde. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but Inde says, what advice can you give to small income earners who also adhere to the cash envelope system? I would say go look at my very first videos and you will see that I also have been low income. So I think anyone on YouTube, you go back and watch your old videos and it's cringeworthy, right? Because your things change, you get better at being in front of the camera. So like, I won't say that my past videos were super stellar, but I will say that the budget that I had in my earlier videos is more the budget that I've been living the last couple of years. You guys have seen these last couple months, you've seen me add a lot of categories and do a lot of changes, but I think that this kind of system is actually best for low income or small income earners, because it keeps you accountable for every penny. Go back and see some of my old videos, because you might find it a little bit more relatable. But I would say for a small income earner, if you are brand new to budgeting, definitely the advice that I would give to most people is track your spending. Track all of your spending, because I do sometimes have lower income earners or small income earners. I don't have enough money for my bills. I definitely don't have money to cash stuff. And I would say to that you need to track your spending and you need to track the money that you do have to see if there's somewhere where you could decrease your spending, and then maybe there's some ways where you can increase what you're bringing in. So to wrap that question up, if you are a small income earner, I would say that the cash system is great for you. You need to track your income. And then I would say for anybody just starting the cash budget system, pick 6 categories, 12 if you're feeling really ambitious, but pick 6 to 12 categories, really focus on those things. I don't know that I would start out stuffing all of the bills, for example. I would probably just pick things that I really want, like new car, new phone, maybe save for one of your bills, save for self-care. Pick a few categories that maybe you struggle with, but also a few that excite you. Mix those together and just focus there. Don't start with all of it. Don't get 6 binders. Don't like overwhelm yourself if you're just starting, especially if you're low income, because then you're gonna feel like, oh, well, I only have $20 this week and I've got 12 categories. Well, pick 6 categories and put a few dollars in each of them. That is how I would start. And that's how I did start. I was doing this for a while before I was ever even on YouTube. So when I started YouTube, I had already, gotten better at it over the years. Next question is from Kim. Kim said, I do not understand the concept of taking all the money out of the bank. How will I have money in the bank? I'm so lost, but I'll keep watching. That is a great question, Kim. So I guess I should start by saying not everyone does things the same way, right? But I do take money out of the bank. I do that intentionally because if I leave it in the bank, I spend it. I spend it on food, mostly fast food. I spend it on toys that the kids don't need because we already have way too many toys. I intentionally want all of my money out of the bank. Okay, and so like whenever I'm ready to pay my bills, I do take all of the money that's in my bills binder, put it in the bank, pay all my bills at once, and then I don't have to worry about it, right? If you're talking about like how do you do everyday spending, I use cash. If it is something that is online, because you guys, sometimes you need to spend money and it needs to be online, right? So if it is something that is online, then I do have a credit card. I will use that credit card to buy something online, and then the next week whenever I'm going to get money from the bank to do my cash stuffings, I will put whatever card spending I did. So say I got something on Etsy, I will pull Etsy cash that I have in the binders, put it in the bank so that I can then pay that credit card. I don't let money sit on the credit card. Like I don't have a big balance that I have to pay. I always make sure it's paid pretty quickly after, within the week. So that is how I do it. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, let me know in the comments. If you are someone who does an all cash system, tell me how you handle your money, because budgeting and cash spending, all of this is very individual for all of us. So just because I do things a certain way doesn't mean that somebody else does. Boss Mama Budgets says, what is your most top secret trick to growing your YouTube and Etsy following? I absolutely love your channel. And I think it might have something to do with your personality. Thank you so much, Boss Mama Budgets. Honestly, I wish I had some kind of trick or something I could tell you guys. I think I just got on Etsy at the right time, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not doing anything super secret. I will say, if you are not doing the tags, like whenever you upload your video, there's an option to put tags. I always do tags. I do think thumbnails matters. If you're just capturing a picture from your film, like from what you filmed earlier, I don't think that is as good or as captivating to people as if you take the picture. Like if you take a picture and then like put words on it or something, I think taking the time out to do the thumbnail is very important. Other than that, I don't know that I'm doing much, unless it was just right place, right time is honestly what I think it has something to do with. 2 of our binders are done. We only have 2 left, so stay with me, guys. And actually, I think these other 2 are gonna be really quick, and I think we've almost answered all the questions. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more question as we do these 2 more binders, and forgive me if I missed your question. If I missed your question, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I've been jumping around, so I don't know what I've answered at this point. Before I answer that question, let's go ahead and stuff the kids' goals. These are the kids' goals. So yearly memberships. Realistically, I am wanting memberships to different places for the kids' benefit, right? Back to school, that is another one that is clearly all about the kids. Happy birthday, that is for their birthdays coming up in the middle of the year, and then for any kid like presents I might need for their friends. Sports is the next one that is saving for their sports. Curriculum, like homeschooling curriculum. Field trips, that's going on fun little adventures with them during the day when their friends would be schooling. So the only thing we need to do in this binder is change these last couple categories into the axolotl print. Janice said, where do you see yourself with your YouTube channel and your business 5 years from now? So that is a fun question. I am not somebody that looks ahead too far just because I get overwhelmed. I'm a very organized person in like the now, but I don't tend to think too far out. So with that being said, I would absolutely love to keep growing on YouTube. I love YouTube. Like YouTube is the most fun. I know I'm making money off of it and I consider it a part of my job now, but it is the most fun. You guys are amazing. So of course I would love to keep growing this little community and have a bigger channel. What that is 5 years from now, I don't even know. Maybe I would have like 200,000 subscribers 5 years from now. That would be amazing. Whatever community we do have, I hope that we all stay active here. I hope that you guys all are still engaging with me in 5 years because I love each and every one of you so much. And I think as far as business, I would like to keep going with Etsy as far as putting my budget stuff there. I have so many fun ideas. I'm just waiting on shipments to get to me because there are some supplies that I need from overseas, and y'all know that is so slow these days. I have some really fun things planned very soon that I'm just waiting on some materials. So I would love to keep growing and keep working on Etsy on budget related materials. And then the paper planner business, in 5 years, I would love to have a paper planner business that is in the stores. Like I would love for you to be able to go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Office Depot, somewhere. I would love for my line to be in a major store. You guys haven't even seen any of the paper planner plans yet, but I have a lot of fun plans for the paper planner. I hope I have a family business and I get to be with my kids when they need me, but I also hope to be able to be with family and kids while I work on that line, as well as maybe all of them be a part of working on that with me. So to have a family business, I hope it all continues to grow because I just love what I've been doing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do put a lot of time into what I'm doing here on Etsy and YouTube. So I do consider this very much a full-time job. I don't consider myself a stay-at-home mom, really. I'm only mentioning that to say that I am working full-time. I am working really hard on these things. I hope to continue working really hard and for things to continue to grow. I'm making that clarification because I'm about to say that this does not feel like a job to me. Like I do work full-time hours. It feels like a job in that way because I am putting a lot of time and energy into it, but it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel draining. It doesn't feel like I never have a day that I'm like, oh, I gotta go work on a new product or I've gotta go work on a video. Like, it's all so fun to me. I can't believe I get to call it my job. But of course, on the money side, I need it to continue to grow so that I can continue keeping this as a job. I, of course, hope that it all grows. I hope that you guys will stay with me these next 5 years and we can see together sort of how things grow and change. So that's the last question we're going to answer today. Thank you to everybody who participated and asked a question. We are going to now do the very last categories, which is my binder. So in my binder categories, we have moving, car, new phone goes into my binder, Christmas, I mean, it's for the kids, but we're considering it mine. And then AAA, which is what this one is. Finally gonna give AAA a sticker. Took us long enough. After AAA, we have car maintenance. My camera keeps dying. I'm so sorry about the cutscenes, guys, but I just want to go through the binders quickly as well as shuffle around just a little bit of money. So to recap everything, this is my binder. Moving, new car, new phone, Christmas, AAA, winter vacation, picture day, and the 100 envelope savings challenge. This is the bills binder. So we have rent, which needs to get stuffed, preschool, school for my elementary age homeschooler, electric bill, gymnastics, internet, gym and pool, that's mostly for the pool, renter's insurance, pets, and Nashville. So I did want to say, I remembered why there's no envelope label for car insurance and then tuition. It's because I had just planned on that money going into Nashville, because this is for all the bills that I'm not paying yet that I expect to have. So tuition is not a bill that I have yet, but now that I know the approximate cost of it, I am just going to be adding that money to this month's Nashville money, as well as for co-op, because this was basically the same savings that I just duplicated twice. So to consolidate those into Nashville bills, which is what tuition will be, it's going to be a bill that I pay every single month for the boys' homeschool co-ops. We now have for Nashville bills, remember we need about like $1,700 every single month extra to put towards Nashville bills. Of course, this month we're going to have more money than we would typically have because we've been saving in all of these sinking funds, and we're about to count it towards February's Nashville money. So we have $500, $600 in the bank for Nashville. $700, $800, $900, $1,000, $1,050, $100, $200, $300, $400, $450, $470, $490, $510, $530, $550, $570, $590, $610. So we have $1,610 Nashville money. So this month, because we've really been saving those sinking funds for a little while now, we will have close to what we need for our bills as if we were paying bills in Nashville. So what we want to see is every single month we want to see about this amount of money going into Nashville. Now y'all know my Etsy has been slow, so I don't know if we're going to do it next month, but for this month, our Nashville expenses are covered. At the end of the month, all of this will go into the savings account just towards Nashville, which could be considered 1 month ahead on Nashville's bills, like as we stack that money, or it could be a month ahead or bill money if we fall behind and need it. So that is consolidated, and then we have, for our variable expenses, we have groceries, gas money, fast food money. We have self-care, and this money was put aside a little earlier, but basically we're taking out beauty and movies and purchases. We had several self-care categories. We are just lump summing it all together into general self-care. Now I will be bringing my boys to the movies at some point, so some of this money will specifically stay towards that. But my thinking is I really don't have that much extra self-care money these days, so I don't like breaking it down that much because I just don't have that much. So we know that the self-care money is primarily going towards a movies trip, and then if there's any purchases that come up for me, I can have the money to get that. Etsy money left over, money to get the boys' haircuts, and then our sick days funds, which helps me out when we are sick. So that's our new variable expenses. And then finally, we do have the boys a binder now, and this is more saving things that I'm making it a focus for their benefit. Yearly memberships for Children's Museum, different places for them. Back to school shopping, that's for new clothes and stuff. At the start of the school year, happy birthday to save for their birthdays. Sports, right now they are just getting started with baseball, so that's gonna be for baseball money. Curriculum is for their homeschooling curriculum, and that takes us to this money. I don't plan on having any apps that I'm using for next year's curriculum, so we're gonna take that online category out. Again, just as I kind of figured out what my next year is gonna look like, some of these categories have just changed or become not necessary. So for curriculum for the boys schooling next year, I do have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 135, 136. So I have 136 towards their curriculum for next year. Field trips, I do have the field trips category still for them. That's just for little adventures for us. And then their allowance has moved out of bills and into their binder. Typically my bills binder is locked up because so much money is in that. That stays locked up and hidden. And so just to make it easier to get to their allowance, I put it in this binder. It's usually not as hard to access because I do need to access this several times throughout the week as I just pull a few dollars from it here and there to last us a couple days. So anyway, just for convenience sake, I moved allowance. That was the longest video I've ever put on this channel. I have not edited the video yet, but I am positive it is very long. So if you made it all to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.